Hey y'all, Bad Girl Mystic here. So it's Transformation Thursday. But instead of continuing, I'm going to tie this into our whole topic this month about the root chakra and healing trauma with a focus on our chakras. And I'm just going to see if I can do a video on color at the same time and talk to you. I just can't talk about what I'm coloring about. That's the whole thing. That's where I get tripped up. So this is a new experiment. Anywho, what I'm going to talk about, heartbreak, since we've got Valentine's tomorrow. And there's loads of feel-good stories about love and how people met. And I'll be honest, I share my husband's and my feel-good story on Halloween because that's when we met. But on Valentine's Day, I talk about heartbreak. I talk about just, all those tender places. And so what happens is in those tender places, in our natural biological response to want to heal that heartache, numb that pain. Many of us develop addictions. For myself, it was food. Oh, glorious, glorious food. Earth sign, Taurus. And I was an emotional eater. I was an emotional eater all the way up to the point in my life after my brain injury when I said, fuck it, I am no longer going to people please, put people's needs before my own, put the home before my health, put my husband before my health. I know I had to switch it up. It was just, I was stuck. I was frozen. I wasn't healing. And I had to switch it up. So I said, fuck it. And I stopped emotional eating. It just happened. As soon as I started speaking my truth about who I was and what I really wanted, I no longer needed to shove those emotions down. I no longer was holding heartbreak in my body from unexpressed desires. Now, how did I learn to do this? I'll be honest. There was this guy in the 90s. Fuck. I joke around about the darkness of the 90s. It was a really fucking dark time for me. And emotionally, came out of a long relationship and was dating again. And didn't want to get super serious. And then I fell for a fuckboy. And it fucked me up pretty bad. And I couldn't figure out, what was going on. And I would talk to all my friends. And the reason I'm bringing this actually came into my mind was I got a DM yesterday from someone asking me if they'd be willing to talk to them about why their readings with psychics differ. And all I did was offer my opinion and my experiences. But at this time, I was seeing a lot of psychics. And I was just, just wanted the answers. Why? And my heart ached and burned. And I took late night dangerous drives through Mulholland, blaring music. And I ate and I cried and, it was just read everything I could on astrology and everything. And why weren't we matching up? And this is kind of when I first found out about elements too. So anywho, but what really shook me up, and it's always that shit you never expect. I had a friend of me. I had this girl that I hung out with who I had found out that while I was on vacation, she tried to fix my fuckboy up with one of her friends. And I was just hurt. I was like, why the hell would you do that? And she said, well, he doesn't appreciate you. She goes, you need to show him how to appreciate you. And it stopped me in the tracks. And the reason it stopped me in the tracks was I realized I didn't know how to appreciate myself. No fucking clue. I spent my days inside my head just beating myself the fuck up for being weak, for not being stronger, for not being more girly, for not being good enough, blah 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 blah. And I stopped going to OA meetings for myself because I needed to, it wasn't like alcohol where you can just go cold turkey. You need to figure out how to eat again. So this is a very earth root chakra story. Root chakra, our survival, our fuel, what's our relationship with food? My relationship was really fucked up. So yeah, just FYI, I wasn't able to load yesterday's video to IGTV, but it is on my Bad Girl Mystic YouTube channel, and the links in my gallery and my stories, and it's also on my Bad Girl Mystic. It's in my Bad Girl Mystic group if any of you are in the group. Anywho, I talk a lot about Earth Chakra and elements yesterday, so just tying back into that. Where are we at on time? So, heart chakra, right? So how our heart chakra, our heartbreak, affects our body. It's beyond just what we're thinking. It's beyond what we're feeling. It's how are we managing it? Are we pushing it away? What are we doing to process it? Are we beating ourselves the fuck up? So, I decided to leave OA. And so I was tired of being at war with my body. I no longer wanted to be at war with my body. I wanted to figure out a way how to do it different. So I had to learn about how to actually take care of a human body. So I wasn't up to that point. I was like, let me do this to you. Wow, you're still fucking here. Okay, let's try this. Let's do this combination of drugs. Let's do this dangerous fucking reckless thing. Oh, fuck, you're still here. Okay. And it was, I really thought I was going to just go out in this world before the age of 30. And when I hit my 30th birthday, I realized, shit, I really got to start fucking taking care of myself. So, I went celibate. I found out that I was only a Miss Right Now to my fuckboy, and I would never be Mrs. Right. And truth of the matter was, it was just... there was a lot missing for me. And I had to come to that realization too. But my frenemy's words rung in my head. How the fuck can I show someone how to appreciate myself if I don't know how to appreciate myself? So I dated myself. And I spent many Valentines alone or with friends. We'd go dancing or some shit like that. Or I would spend it doing art and crying or bubble bath or whatever, but I dated myself. Whatever I wanted to do with someone else, I did for myself. So if I wanted flowers and chocolate on Valentine's Day, I got myself flowers and chocolate on Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day, my mom loved that holiday. I was brought up with a real Hallmark version of Valentine's Day. My mom so badly just craved this existence and family that she was brought up with in the 50s of this, sold to her by the army of Norman Rockwell proportions. But she would always have cards and little gifts, and we would wear red, and these were her little rituals, even to the point where she loved us so much that I actually spread her ashes on Valentine's Day under the Golden Gate Bridge at golden hour, and I danced in her honor instead of words. My mom and I always got tripped up on words. My mom was all air and fire, and I'm all earth and water with a little bit of fire. So we had very different communication styles. So I started learning about myself. Started learning not what the body needs, but what is the body made up of? Okay, we're made up of elements.